Yeah, Bill. I'm still at the office. Genesis 2017. Yeah, the report should be up in a minute. All right, buddy. What's that? I didn't know it was broken. Bye-bye. Holy smokes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Big Ray, and this is your TNA Impact Report. TNA Impact 1/26/2017. If you don't know who I am the Mark of the Masters, bound the plan. Big Ray here to stay to talk some wrestling today with you all here. Guys, thank you so much. Hey, guys, come to YouTube here, onewrestlingvideo.com, and subscribe. We're trying to get the subscriber rate up, guys, so we're really focusing on trying to get some new friends to join us here in the family. So we're going to jump right into this because this was an action-packed night, a whole bunch of title matches, and I thought the show was actually well put together. And again, we start off with a tag team title match, but before that we have Broken Matt and his brother Nero coming to the ring. And brother Nero, as we all know, last week won the #1 briefcase in the race for the case. So, you know, he's talking about, hey, maybe it's time that brother Nero is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion once again. And but he does ask his brother, Broken Matt, if he had any premonitions or knew anything. And well, Matt did have a premonition about the fact that the Hardys were going to be running or taking over or revolutionizing the tag team division once again. Basically, Matt Hardy is saying that, well, that the Hardys are going to own all the gold in TNA. Is it possible? Again, guys, I always ask you to leave your comments here below at onewrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo, and they're interrupted by the DCC who come down and they cut a promo. And also, of course, we the Decay actually come down, they also cut a promo. Well, anyway, they go back and forth, guys, with barbs here and there, and finally it ends up in a three-way dance, a three-way tag team dance for the TNA tag team title. So we have the Hardys versus the K versus the DCC for the TNA tag team championships. And TNA, it might not be TNA much longer. It might just be Impact Wrestling, but that's a story for another day. We'll get into that a little later on down the line. So again, guys, it was a solid match. Again, you know, you have three teams, and when you have so many, you know, so many moving factors in a match like this, you know, it can end up being sloppy. But it was actually a well done match. We're gonna jump into the match, and we're gonna go towards the end of the match where we have Matt, who comes in. He's punching and throwing clotheslines. He actually did this really cool move where he did a clothesline combined with a side effect, hitting the side effect and also hitting his other opponent with a clothesline, which was actually really cool. He goes for a cover on Steve, but it's broken up, and things got chaotic. We move a little forward, and we have Eddie Kingston. He's able to hit the STO on Matt, but Matt is able to kick out after the 2 count. He goes to the top rope, but Steve missed him, so he gets to. I didn't know Steve actually does the whole miss thing as well. I thought it was just a Rosemary thing, but that actually happened. So while basically chaos ensues, everything is going crazy on the outside, Jeff and Storm are going at it again outside. Matt hits the twist of fate on Kingston on the inside for the 1, 2, 3. So ladies and gentlemen, still the tag team champions of the world here in Impact Wrestling, the Broken Hardys. Again, this was a solid match, a lot of moving factors, really good stuff, guys. If you haven't seen it, I believe if you go to poptv.com, it's up the next day or the following day. I think they also have it on the Fight Network, so you might want to check that out. Or go to YouTube. You'll probably be able to find it there. Backstage, we have Drew McIntyre, who actually cuts another really solid promo. And he explains how this is going to be phase 2 of his plan, whatever that may be, and that the Grand Championship will in fact be defended tonight here on this night. Interesting. So now here's the deal. They had these they had like a bunch of Braxton Sutter segments where he goes on his date with Laurel Van Ness, and we all know that he wants nothing to do with this chick. Now, again, ladies and gentlemen, here's the deal. If you don't want nothing to do with this beautiful woman, that's fine. I can always kind of slide in. And again, thank you, Carl, for being here. Carl, my cameraman, thank you. The steady hand of OneWrestling.com, one of the best in the business, guys. And eventually, I promise you, Carl will come into the picture, and we'll see. Yes, you will. You will come into the picture because people want to see you. It is what it is. Anyway, He's shy. He's still upset because apparently now I'm working very late. Again, here, guys, I'm in the offices here at OneWrestling.com, and you know, I'm working very late, and I'm going to be working late every single night, especially with the Royal Rumble around the corner, guys. We have Big Slam Nation. Billy Ray Valentine is going to be doing a preview show, a review show. I mean, it's going to be crazy. We have Connor with the SmackDown Rebound. I mean, so many things going on. But anyway, this is TNA Impact Wrestling, and I want to talk to you about this whole Braxton Sutter segment. And you know, Braxton Sutter is having wine, and he goes out to dinner. By the way, he's wearing a do-rag. I don't know of many fancy restaurants you can do that, but it is what it is. Not do-rag, kind of like a Scully. But Braxton is having, he's just not happy. You know, party for two, you know, Laurel Van Ness is being a total jerk. Let's put it that way. She's being a jerk. And, you know, there are 3 broken segments. I'll just break the whole thing down. The whole thing is basically them on a date, and Braxton Sutter wants absolutely nothing to do with Laurel Van Ness. Nothing. I mean, there are a couple of you know, funny things here and there, but she calls, that being Laurel, calls Maria and says everything's going great. Listen, I won't be surprised, because Braxton Sutter, he says, oh, I'll get the check, and I won't be surprised if he actually just, you know, paid the check and just left, and we'll probably find that out next week. That's what I believe is going to happen. So anyway, we have Drew Galloway, who makes his way to the ring, and he says what he does for the good of the company, which, you know what, even though he's a heel, technically, he kind of has been kind of a staple of the company ever since he's been here, kind of a pillar, you know, doing the right thing for the company. I mean, maybe he might have taken Caval's ear off with that big metal pipe when he first made his debut, but other than that, I mean, let's be real. I mean, the guy's been doing really, really good stuff. And then he calls out, he says, look, who wants to take on the champ? So we have no set championship match here. Well, former grand champion Moose comes to the ring, and he actually accepts the challenge of Drew Galloway. Now, again, I haven't been a big fan of the Grand Championship, but I gotta be honest with you guys. More and more, I'm starting to enjoy the way they're booking the Grand Championship matches. Let's jump into round 1. And round 1 was a unanimous win for Moose. Basically, during the match, or towards the end of the match, or towards the end of the round. It's still weird for me to say round when we're talking to wrestling, but the fight spills outside. The men trade some blows back and forth. We have Drew and Moose, and they're fighting on the guardrail. Moose responds with a suplex. The fight goes back and forth. Moose powerbombs Drew onto the apron, which, again, guys, that is the strongest, the most solid part of the entire ring. That is a steel frame, and he gets the round. Now, the second round was a little weird. The second round, we're going back and forth, and there are a lot of cool things that happen in this round. And Drew Galloway actually gets hit with a clothesline. When he hits the floor, his leg goes up. It looked inverted at first, easy for me to say. You know what I'm trying to say. It looked like he didn't do it by you know, on purpose. But he ends up kicking Moose, and, well, you know, the Moose Knuckles. And the referee actually deducts another point, just like he did last week, which I think was pretty cool. But while all this is happening, well, the referee is distracted. Well, basically, Drew Galloway does what anybody would do, kicks Moose right in the Moose Knuckles again, hits the Future Shock DDT for the 1-2-3. So again, this was a very, very solid match, and this was a match where Moose was actually dominating the second round as well. So really, really cool. And we move really, really quickly into the Monsters Ball match. Jade versus Rosemary. Now, I'm going to spend a little time on this match because these two ladies absolutely did fantastic. I got to be honest with you guys. The fans were chanting, "This is awesome." And I'm not a big fan of the whole "this is awesome" chants, but this match was, in fact, awesome. It was really solid. These two girls really put together a really, really strong style match. I mean, the ladies went crazy. We had thumbtacks, kendo sticks, the trash cans, leather belts, tables. Sounds like a good time. Maybe it's just me. Anyway, at one point we have Rosemary, who attempts to use the mist on Jade, but Jade uses the trash can lid almost like a shield. It's actually very, very smart. Rosemary hits a power bomb. Almost left this out. Jay goes outside, goes under the ring. Now, apparently under the ring, a table with barbed wire is kind of like the normality. I mean, you always have one of those laying around. And she lays it on the mat, and she power bombs Rosemary, who sold it really, really well. If you don't agree with me, guys, I would like to hear your opinion on this. And please leave me your opinion, guys. Again, here at OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo, or hit me up on Twitter. The link's right down here below. Or right there, Big Ray Show. Give me, hit me up on Twitter. I usually like to respond to you guys, and I love to interact with you guys on Twitter, so please do that. But my God, that was, Rosemary did a hell of a job selling that, and let's be real, I mean, it hurts. It's not fake barbed wire. They're not using rubber barbed wire. This is actual barbed wire that she landed on. And then Jade then kind of sandwiches, Rosemary, puts the table on top of her and does a moonsault onto Rosemary. And I thought Rosemary was in fact dead, if she's not dead already. What was that? No, she's not dead. I don't think. I mean, maybe she's getting there because she's decaying and stuff. I don't know. It's a good question, Carl. I don't know. But anyway, the fact of the matter is that, man, that was a really awesome spot. We have Rosemary who set up the table, and I mean, it was just so much to digest. You really have to watch this match, guys. We have Jade who sets up Rosemary on the table, but Rosemary actually gets off the table, and they're fighting, going back and forth. Now, the two are fighting up top on the rope. The champ sets up for a superplex, and boom, hits the big superplex through the table for the 1, 2, 3. Rosemary goes over and defeats Jade. Now, we have Gail Kim, who comes into the ring to check on her best friend, or her protege, I would say. And Gail Kim, well, all she does is get missed to the face. And this is, you see, again, I thought, I wasn't sure whether the former champion Gail Kim was retired or not, but apparently she's not. Maybe she's just taking a little time off, and it works. I'm saying, hey, listen, everybody, if you're a professional wrestler, I mean, you're taking these bumps day in and day out. You're traveling, so on and so forth. So it's really difficult to maintain that schedule. And every once in a while, and listen, let's be real, Gail Kim has definitely earned it being a Hall of Famer. And if she would have stayed in the WWE, I guarantee you this woman would have been a Hall of Famer, multi-divas champion, and probably multi-WWE Women's Champion. I'm almost certain of it. So, but solid match. Looking forward. Now next week is going to be open fight night, which you could basically go out to the ring, excuse me, and you can call out anybody. I guarantee you this is going to happen next week. And I don't know the spoilers. Please do not leave the spoilers down here. I do not read the spoilers. I predict as if I was writing the show. So please do not do that. Now we have a dope X Division match. We have DJZ, easy for me to say, the champion versus Andrew Everett, Trevor Lee, Marshe Rocket, Caleb Colony for the X Division Championship. Now, we had a nice little vignette of Caleb Colony, who says that he's been wrestling for over 15 years or something and so forth. Really cool stuff. Really, I like that. I mean, the guy seemed like a nondescript person. Again, this is my opinion, but hey, they actually gave a little time to get to know him, and I think they should do that. And they should do that in the WWE with the cruiserweights a little bit more. I think it was well done by TNA, and there's a lot of quick action early. I mean, between all five, until finally it settles onto between Colony and DJZ in the ring. Soon everybody is back in the ring, and we have this spot here that I wanted to make sure that you guys, if you guys didn't see it, or if you guys haven't, you're gonna hear my review, then watch the show. They did a 5-way DDT neckbreaker. What am I talking about? I can't really describe it. It's like the Randy Orton gimmick, but you have 4 guys lined up, 3 guys lined up, 1 guy holding one guy's neck in a DDT, and then DJZ comes up and jumps. I mean, it's just retardedness, and it is what it is. After a quick back and forth, we have Andrew Everett, who hits a huge springboard shooting star, beautifully done, by the way, and but hits DJZ. He is a shooting star, but DJZ is able to hit the ZDT. See, all these DDTs, it's very hard. It's hard to talk. And he gets the immediate 1, 2, 3, and DJZ retains the title. I'm going to be honest with you guys. I'm watching all these guys. You got Marshe Rocket, Caleb Colony, you have a bunch of really solid people, Trevor Lee, so on and so forth. Out of all the guys here, including the champion, I'm a big fan of Trevor Lee. I love the Carolina Caveman. I think this guy's going to be the TNA X Division champion, and who knows, maybe this week or next week coming, depending on when you're watching this video, an open fight night, I think Trevor Lee should call out the champ. I think he has a great chance of actually taking that title. Now, and I've been talking about that in the Impact Rebellion over WrestleZone.com with Yalla, my partner Ben Hameen. Hey, dude, I think this guy would make a phenomenal champion. I think the guy's really got it all. He showed a lot of charisma last week in the Fact of Life. Dummy, yeah. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, go back and check it out. All right, so after the match, we have Trevor Lee, who basically attacks DJZ. This is why I think this is going to happen. And Shane Helms, Sugar Shane Helms, outside the ring, his tag team partner also. They all setting this up. They put the champion's ankle, who he had some injuries, into a chair, and then they proceed to beat the ankle down with another chair, further injuring the ankle. So I thought it was actually a good spot. We go backstage, and we had a really awkward moment between the champion, Eddie Edwards, and his tag team partner, Davey Richards. Now, backstage, you know, Davey's wishing him good luck, and he's like, hey, man, you know, I can't, you know, this is going to be great, Wolves Nation, you know, all together, blah, blah, blah. He's talking about together, but, well, there's a problem. Eddie Edwards was like, look, dude, you know, I want to do this by myself, you know. And when he walked away, that being the champion, when he walked away, Davey Richards had a look on his face of absolute disgust. I've been talking about an Eddie Edwards or Davey Richards heel turn for a long time, and I believe this is actually going to happen, maybe coming to fruition. Who knows, man? Maybe Eddie Edwards gets called out by his partner next week in a friendly face-on-face match, which could, you know, turn into a heel turn for Davey Richards. But it's gonna happen. I guarantee you, it's absolutely, definitely gonna happen. It's getting hot in this office. Anyway, they haven't, you know, it's a lot of heat. It's cold outside. Bobby Lashley. The main event of the evening was Bobby Lashley versus Eddie Edwards in a 30-minute Iron Man match, and this match was in fact a barn burner. I'm gonna take a little time on this. Man, these two guys have been putting forth great match after great match after great match, and I think Eddie Edwards will probably get a rematch. Hey, who knows? Maybe this is where Eddie Edwards, David Richards kind of screws his partner out of winning the title, and this is where they go into their feud, and Bobby Lashley will continue on to maybe face other opponents for the World Championship, but depending if he wins, I kind of gave away the finish. But anyway, I'll tell you what happened. Dude, this was a great match. Absolutely, really solid match. We'll jump into the match in the first for the first fall, where we have Eddie Edwards, and he's in total control at this point in juncture. However, Lashley delivered a spear out of nowhere for the first fall, so Lashley gets fall number one. Again, it's 30 minutes, as many falls as you can possibly get, and we fast forward now. They're on the floor, and we have Eddie Edwards. He's actually selling the knee. Fight spills out to the ramp. Lashley actually power bombs Eddie onto the floor on the ramp. Lashley gets back in the ring. Eddie is, well, basically counted out. So Bobby Lashley wins the second fall, 2-0. He's up 2-0. So now, you know, the contender is like way ahead of the game. For some reason, Bobby Lashley removed the turnbuckle pads. I guess he's gonna look to, you know, cheat. That's what a heel does. I don't know why a machine like that would need to do that, but this comes into play a little longer, as Lashley hitting a big German suplex during this point in juncture, but he kind of gets forced head first into the exposed turnbuckle by Eddie Edwards, and Eddie Edwards is able to roll him up for the pin. 1, 2, 3. 2-1. Both men outside the ring. We have Bobby Lashley, who hits a huge power slam, guys. If you think a power slam outside the ring, even though it's padded, doesn't hurt, it absolutely will knock the wind out of you. If you don't believe so, go to your local karate class, ask the instructor to pick you up and slam you onto that mat and see how that feels. And that's on a wood floor, I'm sure. Bobby follows and looks to deliver another German suplex on that ramp, but Eddie Edwards lands on his feet, so he basically flips over, lands on his feet, and hits a Boston knee party. Now, both of these guys are struggling to the ring, and I thought Eddie Edwards would actually tie it up with this, but, you know, both men actually beat the count. Now, Lashley ends up picking Eddie Edwards, drops him on the ropes, and then we get Eddie, he gets Eddie in a suplex, but Eddie is able to escape and hits another Boston knee party. So that's two back-to-back Boston knee parties after, you know, all the action outside the ring. And guess what, guys? Yes, Eddie Edwards gets the 1, 2, 3. Now we fast forward even further, and we have Lashley, who runs into the corner to hit the spear. 1, 2. No, he hits the spear. Eddie Edwards kicks out. We got Eddie, who hits another Boston knee party, but Lashley kicks out at 2. So again, guys, a lot of action going on here. We have Eddie Edwards, who goes in the top for Hurricane Rana, but Bobby Lashley actually catches him and hits him in a huge power bomb, and then locks on the submission choke, and Eddie taps out, which was very, very pivotal. It was more or less a Darce choke. If you guys don't know what MMA is, if you guys don't know what that it's kind of it's a headlock where you're putting most of your weight on the side of the throat, so on and so forth. You have Eddie Edwards, whose arm is up, and his arm is actually trapping the airwaves and cutting the blood off to the blood flow to the neck. So it's actually a absolute devastating chokehold. I gotta be honest with you guys. I mean, I put Bill Apter in it, but then he broke out and put me in the figure 4 leg lock, and I wasn't able to break that, and I had to kind of tap out. But I practice on Carl all the time. Shut up. Anyway, it doesn't matter. What? Yeah, I thought so. Anyway, so 3-2 Bobby Lashley. We only got 2 minutes and 40 seconds left, and Lashley rolls out of the ring, and I don't know. I mean, you have him outside the ring. You have the Pope in his face, you know, telling him, "Hey, Daddy, you gotta get inside, win the right way." Wow, that almost sounded like I was going on a racial tirade, which I absolutely wasn't. But yeah, what is the right and wrong way? Not that I'm being a heel, not that I'm being a bad guy, but the fact of the matter is, hey, listen, you know, if there's only 2 minutes 40 seconds left, you're just running out the clock. I mean, I would have done the same thing. But anyway, he gets back into the ring, but woohoo! Eddie Edwards goes for a Boston knee party, but Bobby Lashley actually hits a spine buster. Lashley starts to show off a little bit, but guess what? Eddie Edwards catches Bobby Lashley, the champion, with a guillotine chokehold. That's a front face, basically a front face headlock, I guess you would say, or choke lock. And it's 43 freaking seconds left, and Bobby Lashley is about to go out. Time is clicking. Ladies and gentlemen, Bobby Lashley puts his arm up once, puts his arm up twice, and of course Eddie Edwards goes over it. Not. Ladies and gentlemen, the time runs out. Bobby Lashley actually survives, and he is your new TNA World Heavyweight Champion. I am looking forward to TNA Open Fight Night, Impact Wrestling Open Fight Night, of course, brought to you by Anthem Media, and all the photos and stuff that we use here, OneWrestling.com, a courtesy of ImpactWrestling.com. Hey, ladies and gentlemen, listen, this was my review. I thought this was a very, very solid show. Maybe I start ranking these things. You know what? Out of 10, I give it a solid 6.5, maybe a 7. I'll give it a 6.5. I thought it was a very solid, very above average show. Good business. They were setting up for future endeavors, if that makes any sense to you guys. Basically setting up for future feuds, future title matches. You know, when they go into the big shows. I think it's going to be some good TV coming up. Again, guys, never send me the spoilers, guys. If you do, I won't ever be your friend again. Again, guys, if you want to check me out, the Impact Rebellion, depending on when you're listening to this video, usually it's up Friday afternoon, Friday evening, with me and my co-host Ben Hameen. Follow him on Twitter at Ben_Hameen. We're going to get a little more in-depth, and we're also on the Impact Rebellion going to give you some Royal Rumble previews, and we're going to kind of preview the show also. So I'm going to give you, and then also I should be on Big Slam Nation with Billy Ray Valentine. He's going to be hosting that, and I think it's going to be me, Lisa, and the Professor, and Billy Ray Valentine. So it's going to be pretty cool, man. It's going to be a lot of fun. And Lisa Sahara, you know her, she does the Raw reports here, and she also does great writing reports for OneWrestling.com. Well, listen, ladies and gentlemen, look, man, guys, give us a follow here, OneWrestling.com, YouTube /OneWrestlingVideo. Give me a follow at Big Ray Show on Twitter. Go over to Instagram, guys. You can also find me there at Big Ray Show. Follow me on both, guys. I'll follow you right back, I promise. And do not forget to subscribe. Please subscribe here, One Wrestling Video. Leave your comments here below. Leave a lot of comments, guys. I like to interact with you guys. Don't just hit me on Twitter. Talk to me here as well, guys. I really, really love it. And I love you guys. Thank you so much. Follow us at Big Slam Nation, at One Wrestling. Follow Bill Apter, the legendary Bill Apter, at Apter One Wrestling, and the rest of the Big Slam Nation crew here. Every single week we continuously give you content. We need your subscribers. We need you guys to come back. We need you guys to spread the word, guys. Hey, this is the place to be. Thank you so much for all my dedicated fans, for all the people that have always supported me since 2010. I love you. I appreciate you. And in the words of Bill Apter, we will see you at the matches. In the word of my brother Bill Schuyler, we'll see you down the road. I always say this. I would do this for a living, but if I can, I would do it anyway. Why? Because I love talking wrestling. And I love you guys. Hey, listen out for the Impact Rebellion, Friday the 27th. Peace.